All right, welcome everyone to the Peel Podcast. I'm Shelley McGuire, your Chief Strategy Officer at Orange Slices. Today I have with me Ted Rose. He is the CEO of Rose Financial Solutions, which is located locally in North Bethesda, Maryland. It's a business that is a local company, but also has an international reach. They've been in business for 31 years, helping many, many companies and individuals with their financials. Ted, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Shelley. I appreciate you having me here today.
I love it. It's like a follow on from, the past events that we've done online and
Yes.
in person. So it's great to have you back doing this podcast to talk a little bit more about AI in the financial world. But before we get to that hot topic, I always like an icebreaker question. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So fun question. Vacation. I love vacation. I feel like I always want to be on vacation. So, what's your best vacation?
So, one thing we love doing is just, we have adult children, is going on family vacations with the adult kids, their significant others. And not this past summer, the summer before, we did a Virgin Voyages cruise in the Greek Isles. And we spent a lot of time just, the blue waters and skies was just, beautiful. Um, Spent the last night was in Mykonos, and I remember the boat stayed overnight, and a lot of people like to go out and have a good time in Mykonos. And we were back early by 10 p.m., but I think some of the adult kids were out a little bit later than that.
Oh yeah, that when we were in the Greek islands, that ship pulled up late and they stayed overnight. So I knew that they were in for a party. And let me tell you, Mykonos. If anybody hasn't been there, definitely go. They like to stay up late to the point where the boutiques are open at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning so that you make bad decisions.
Yes.
It's like a casino, you know?
But yeah, it was a great time. Everyone had fun. It was something for everyone to do.
I love it. I love it. Virgin Cruise is great. They have great food, great entertainment, great stops. So it doesn't surprise me. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's definitely on my bucket list once my daughter becomes 18. So it's good to hear that you all had a great time.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So let's dive into the financial world, how AI plays into it, because I think a lot of people don't think that way, in how AI can help with financials, decision making, and how it actually like does control the financial world. So let's start off with Ted, with in your words, defining AI in the financial world. How would you go about that?
So first is electronic workflows are really the earliest stages of AI, rules-based electronic workflows. We've actually been working with those since 2005. So it's been 20 years that we've been working in the AI world. I never really thought of it as being AI back in the day when we first got started, but in the current definition, it falls squarely in the definition of AI. The next level would be that machine learning algorithmic AI. We've been working with that for 10 plus years, doing predictive coding and other types of predictive algorithms within that electronic workflow or AI. And then lastly, I think what people have gotten so excited about is really that generative AI and that ability to create a word calculator and see how uh, the prediction of the next word and integrating that word prediction with the actual numeric calculations is really creating extreme lots of possibilities and exciting times in the finance and accounting world. And really, what all that combines into are these what are called AI agents, where one those a combination of those three types of AIs are combined together and or other types of automations to be organized in a agentic AI process. And so that allows for the AI itself to control how these agents work and where where human interaction is going to occur. So it's really exciting that that's all all new right now.
Right. It's new, but it's kind of old. Like we never
Right.
really thought about this whole process, right? We think we're making things easier to do, right? It's the computers that are helping us with our jobs instead of, people looking at things and speeding up that process or what have you. So you've been doing it for a long time without even like putting a label of AI on it, right?
Right. That's right.
So let's take it a step further and kind of dive deep into within the financial world, what are the three levels of AI maturity in that particular financial world?
So, I mean, the first thing is getting a control of your process, your financial operations, your financial processes, your approvals, coding, all those activities, ensuring accuracy, compliance, and audit readiness. So that's that level one, and that's really what we primarily used our electronic workflows to do, is to create that control environment and have good documentation that would support that audit readiness. I'd say the level two is really improvement of clarity. So the ability to have operational clarity, financial operational clarity, understanding, where you are within a process, understanding the SLAs that are occurring. Are each of these activities happening at the appropriate time? What is the expected amount of time for an activity to take, and what is it actually taking? And then you have financial clarity, so dashboarding, visibility into the actual financial results. That clarity would be again part of level two, pattern recognition, and then level three is really decision support and the ability to utilize that clarity to make better decisions and business decisions and not have to spend too much time on organizing the data, but more time on how do you make a better business decision and execute. I'd say most GovCons should be focusing on level one and two today, but ultimately, if you have the right systems in place, and moving down the line to level three should be a pretty fast follow.
Right. I'm sure the government contract community, as far as the financial world and AI, they probably really don't think about these kind of things. I could be wrong. They're probably nerding out about just what you're talking about now. So then let's take it another layer down and just talk about you said you've been using AI. We'll put quotations around it since 2005, right?
Right.
So
Right.
it's been in, right? So how is AI being used in financial systems
So
now?
I think it's being incorporated. I think it's starting to work its way into most systems out there and financial systems, but from our perspective, there's really two main systems that companies need to develop, and one is their system of record, which is really the accounting software, the ERP. That's really where the audit is going to occur, and so that's where you need audit trails, and you have to have stability of that data. And so, our recommendation is not to have as much AI embedded into that the system of record aspect of it, but really more the system of agility. And so that system of agility really has two main components from our definition. And that first is the engagement. So that's the actual workflows and the processing of transactions. There's a lot of really great things that AI can do and that we're currently doing with that, as far as workflows, process improvements, measuring of SLAs, et cetera. And then you have that system of intelligence where you really can do data analytics, financial analytics of FP&A, KPIs, financial KPIs, non-financial KPIs, being able to forecast using your budgets and actuals and other types of non-financial metrics. Cash forecasting, which of course every business owner is um, very much top of mind for them. Debt and equity management, and continuing to improve that financial performance. And so, we think AI belongs more in the system of agility and not as it's not as important that the system of record have that fully engaged this early on in the rollout of especially generative AI.
I like how you said about the cash, right? And that's always my favorite. My husband likes to predict and things like that because he's an accountant and financial planner, so you can often imagine how our conversations go. Um, and just predicting, right? And how the year is going to be, how things going to be. So let's wrap it up by the biggest modernization hiccups in the government contracting world around all of this that we have talked about today?
Well, I think the biggest hiccup really has to do with treating modernization as a solely as a technology problem. And it really is, it's a people problem, it's a process problem, and it's a technology problem. And really, before you start, swapping out your ERP or accounting software, you're going to want to fix your broken workflows. You're going to want to make sure you have strong role clarity. You want to have process ownership. And ERP is not going to compensate for poor process design. A lot of times, if you're reliant on a consultant to come in and design out new processes, those consultants are going to end up leaving as soon as the implementation's done. And so you really want to make sure that your people are in a position to not just you know be able to run the new system, be able to manage the new system and the new processes, but also to evolve those processes as the company continues to scale. And I think that's really where things start to break down, is that the value creation from a new ERP does not occur on the implementation date, but it occurs over time after implementation.
So to wrap this up, Ted, related to, when this will be posted, it'll be beginning of the new year. So let's talk about the new year and what government contracting leaders need to do for the upcoming year.
Well, I would say, if anyone is looking to do an ERP implementation, if they're looking to, upgrade their current systems, is really to spend the time upfront to redefine what their processes are, make sure that they have, strong processes, strong people, strong process ownership role, ownership within the team, and they understand what how that new ERP is going to help to manage those activities moving forward. And that's really where the concept of a system of agility or system of engagement sitting on top of the ERP, those are things that we implement for our clients that are independent of the ERP, so they can actually fix their process first and then make the decision to adjust ERPs or to implement an ERP after the process is fixed with very clear roles and responsibilities that are assigned electronically.
I love it, Ted. This is some action items for our friends out in the government contracting community for 2026. How can they get in touch with you?
Well, they can reach us at www.rosefinancial.com. We have a contact us page where they can set up a meeting. If they have any direct questions, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn as well, or they can send me an email at ted.rose@rosefinancial.com.
Awesome, Ted. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Can't wait to see you in the new year. I know it's going to be fun and exciting. So thanks again.
All right, thanks for having me, Shelley. I appreciate it.